Hello students, welcome to video classes. So today we are going to solve the problems based on the thermal properties of matter. Okay. So as usual, I am going to show you the problem on the screen. Just keep the video on pause, read the problem very carefully, and continue watch the solution. Okay. Let's go for the problem. Welcome students. So in the problem it is saying that the centigrade and the Fahrenheit scale thermometers are dipped in boiling water, and the temperature decreased in the Fahrenheit degrees is given as 140 degrees. So from boiling point to the temperature is decreased up to 140 degree Fahrenheit. So you have to find out that how much temperature decreased in the degree Celsius. So in this one directly we have to use the formula, that is the change in temperature in degree Celsius by the boiling point is equals to the change in temperature in the point in the Fahrenheit scale by the change in the difference between the LFP and UFP. So the formula you can written as delta T, okay, delta T degree Celsius by what you can take 100 is equals to Fahrenheit scale how much you can take delta T degree Fahrenheit, okay, delta T degree Fahrenheit by it will be 180. Okay, this is the value we are going to be using here. Okay. Now, go and find out this equation. This will become delta T degree Celsius by 100 is equals to delta T. How much it is decreased? It is decreased up to 140. Okay, it is decreased up to 140. It will be 212. Okay, 212. Boiling point will be 212. So, the boiling point will be 212 minus 140 by 180. If you want to simplify it, it will be 72. So that is equals to, it will be 72 by 180. If you want to find out delta T represents what is the temperature decreased in the case of degree Celsius. That is delta T degree Celsius is equals to, it will be 100 into 72 by 180. Is going to be cancels. 18 4s are, that is equals to 40 degrees Celsius. So this is the 40 degrees Celsius. That means if the Fahrenheit scale is decreased by 140 degree Fahrenheit, then the temperature in degrees Celsius it will be decreased by 40 degrees Celsius. That means the temperature is decreased, will be 60 degrees. That means 100 to 60 degrees centigrade is decreased, and in the case of Fahrenheit scale 212 to 160, 140 it is going to be decreased. So try to remember this formula, which is very very important. Okay. Let's go for next problem. Welcome back students. So in the problem is based on the pendulum clock. So we are already know that when the clock is running with the pendulum, then the temperature increases. What happened? The loss of the time. If the temperature decreases, the gain of the time will be takes place. So that loss or gain of the time can be calculated by using the formula delta T is equals to, capital T represents the time, okay, change in time. Okay, so that is half into alpha into delta T. Small delta T represents temperature, change in temperature. This is the loss or gain of the time in 1 second. If one find out the loss or gain of the time in 1 day, then it will be into 86,400 seconds. Okay, this is the formula we are going to use. So in the problem, the values are given to you. Alpha value is given 10 to the power of minus 5, and temperature difference is given 10 degrees Celsius, and length is given L. So substitute the values, that implies delta T is equals to half into 10 to the power of minus 5 into temperature difference 10 into 86,400. Okay, so this is the formula itself. And when you are going to simplify this, 0.5 minus 5 is there, 1, 2, 3. 3 digits is going to be cancelled. That implies delta T is equals to 864 by 2 into 10 power minus 2. That means it can be written as 8.64 by 2. 8.64 by 2. That means the change in temperature, change in time, delta T is equals to, if you are going to divide with 2, what are you going to get? 4.32. So 4.32 seconds. Okay, this much time loss is going to be takes place in one day when the temperature is going to be increased, because in the problem is saying that the temperature is increased, temperature is raised by 10 degrees Celsius. So definitely loss or gain, the loss of the time will be takes place. So which option is correct? Time will lose by 4.32 seconds. Second option is the correct one. Okay, let's go for the next one. Welcome students. The problem which I showed you is very important. So in the problem the three rods are there. Three rods of equal length is saying L, and from an equatorial triangle, the three rods are going to be arranged in the form of an equatorial triangle as shown in the diagram. Let us say that they are going to be arranged like this. This is like an equatorial triangle. Okay, you're saying, and what are the names are given to you? P, Q, R. So it is given as P, Q, R. So all are the equal lengths is there, and the center point is saying that this is the point O, center point, and this part is saying. Okay. So the problem is saying that when the temperature difference is very less, on the condition the expansion will be remain same. When the expansions will remain same, then immediately what happened? The distance between the point O and R will be remains constant. If this condition is satisfied, then what is the relation between alpha 1 and alpha 2 is asking. So in the problem the alpha 1 is given to you, PQ is alpha 1. For this PQ, coefficient of linear expansion is alpha 1. For these two rods, the coefficient of linear expansion is alpha 2. Okay, that means if the distance between O and R will be remains constant at temperatures, at all the temperatures, then what is the relation between alpha 1 and alpha 2 we have to find out. So, and in the problem there is a hint is given. What is the hint is given? When the temperature difference is very less, on that condition, the change in length will be remains same, or the initial length and the final length will be remains same. So, based on that condition, we need to find out that from the diagram, if you can refer this OR, okay, OR is equals to what you can write? PR square and OP square you can write. That means when I go to write down this OR square is equals to, from the right angle triangle, OR square is equals to, it is a hypotenuse, you can write as PR square minus PO square. And we know that this length is L and this length is L by 2. Okay, this length is L and this is length is L by 2. If you are going to substitute that equation, that implies what you can write? PR square. PR square means what you can write? L square minus PO square. PO square means L by 2 whole square. L by 2 whole square means it will becomes L by 4 square. Okay, L by 4 square, and that is equals to, you can write as L. L means you can consider as a final length. Okay, final length of the small change in temperature. And in the condition is saying that for small change in temperatures, the final length and the initial length will be remain same. So final length and initial length will be remain same. That means if L is final length, there is a formula is there. What is that formula? Final length L2 is equals to L1 into 1 plus alpha into delta T. Okay, and we know that this L value is belongs to this one. This one, what is the coefficient of linear expansion is alpha 2. So that means it can be written as that is equals to, I am writing here, it can be written as initial length L into 1 plus alpha 2 into T. Okay, small temperature and it is square, minus L by 4, L square by 4. L square by 4 means for this one. Okay, you can consider this is the final length. What is the initial length will be? Same as usual you are going to be taking here. Initial length is also same. On that condition again what you can write? You can write as L by 2 into 1 plus alpha 1 into T. It will becomes whole square. Okay, so don't be confused here. You can consider this is the final length. Final length L2 is equals to L1 into 1 plus alpha into delta T. But according to the given problem, for small change in temperatures, the L1 and L2 both are equal. So we are writing that part only we are writing here. This is for the PR rod and this is for the PQ rod you are going to be writing. Now go and simplify this equation. It will becomes L square minus L square by 4 is equals to, it will becomes L square into, what you can write? A plus B whole square formula. A plus B whole square formula means 1 plus, it will becomes alpha 2 square t square plus 2 alpha 2 into t. Okay, minus is there, minus you can write into L by 2 whole square means L square by 4 into a plus b whole square formula again, 1 square plus alpha 1 square t square plus it can be 2 alpha 1 into t. Okay, this is the formula you are going to take. So in this formula we are going to neglect the higher order terms, because when you are going to refer to alpha value is 10 to the power of minus 6, it is a very less value. But when you are going to take about the alpha square value, it will become 10 power minus 12. So when you are going to compare with alpha, the alpha square value will be very less. That's why you are going to neglect the higher order terms. When you are going to neglect the higher order terms, what are the higher order terms here? This is the higher order term and this is also the higher order term. You are just going to neglect them and go and simplify this. So it will becomes L square minus L square by 4 is equals to, multiply with it will becomes L square into 1 L square plus L square into 2 alpha 2 into t minus L square by 4, L square by 4 into 1, L square by 4 plus into minus, it will be L square by 4 into 2 L square by 4 into 2 into alpha 1 into t. Okay. Now tell me which terms are going to be cancelled here. Plus L square will be cancelled. Minus L square by 4 minus L square by 4 is going to be cancelled. Then left side what remains, it will become 0. And L square by 4 into 2 alpha 1 t is coming to left side. So it will becomes, if we can simplify this, 2 1s are 2 2s are. That means it can be written as L square into alpha 1 into t by 2 is equals to, what it is there here, L square into 2 alpha 2 into t. Okay, because both the same temperature difference is there. What are the terms cancels here? L square will cancels, t is going to be cancels. Alpha 1 is equals to 2 is going to that side. So that implies, what is the final equation you can write? Alpha 1 is equals to 2 into 2, it will becomes 4 alpha 2. This is the final equation, the relation between alpha 1 and alpha 2. Alpha 1 is equals to 4 alpha 2. This is the final answer. So which option is correct here? Second option, alpha 1 is equals to 4 alpha 2. So for which one the coefficient of linear expansion is maximum here? Alpha 1 is equals to 4 alpha 2. That means for PQR the coefficient of linear expansion is maximum, and for this it is very less. That means the coefficient of linear expansion of PR is 1 by 4th of the coefficient of linear expansion of the PQ itself. Okay, the problem is very important. All of you must concentrate. Let's go for the next problem. Welcome back, students. So in the given problem, there is a graph is given to you. The graph is belongs to the two substances which have taken the fusion. Fusion means what happened, the solid state to liquid state. And we know that the graphs, both the graphs A and B are flat at the time of fusion. Because when you are going to refer to the latent heat of fusion, what happened, the temperature will be remains constant when a substance is converting from solid state to liquid state. That is called the latent heat of fusion. Okay. So we need to find out that what is the ratio of the heat absorbed at the time of fusion, we have to find out. Okay. So when I go to refer to that, the graph is given between the temperature and the time. So the temperature will be remains constant, that's why you can't find out the relation between the heat energy absorbed by using the temperature. But by using the time only we are going to find out. Let us find out that first the heat energy Q is equals to. Okay. If the temperature is changing, what is the formula you can use? M into S into delta T. But here what is saying, the temperature remains constant. Temperature remains constant means latent heat. What is the latent heat formula? Q is equals to M into L. Q is equals to M into L. Okay. So this is the formula. And this is equals to, this heat is nothing but the form of energy. And we know the formula of power. The power P is equals to, what is the formula? Energy by time. And energy E is equals to power into time. Okay, energy E is equals to power into time. So that means this can be written as power into time. If the power will be remains constant, okay, if the power will be remains constant, then what is going to take place? The time. Okay, the time will decide that in how much time first substance is going to be taking. When you are going to refer to this two graphs itself, which graph is taking the more time? The graph B is taking the more time to completely convert into fusion, and it is going to start from 4. So that means this equation will clearly explain that if the power will be remains constant, then the heat energy Q is directly proportional to time. Okay, Q is directly proportional to time. Then the heat energy absorbed QA by QB is equals to delta TA by delta TB. Okay, the changing time we are going to be considering here. So that implies what I can write, QA by QB is equals to, QA by QB is equals to delta TA. When I go to refer to the graph A, where the temperature is remains constant here from 2 to 6 seconds, 2 seconds to 6 seconds. Okay, this much time it is going to be constant. That means time we are going to be taken as 6 minus 2 by, for the graph B, from which point it is starting from 6.5 and it is 4. So 6.5 minus 4 we have to take. So 6.5 minus 4. For graph B, the latent heat of fusion started at the time of 4 seconds and ends at the time of 6.5 seconds. In the graph A, the coefficient of the latent heat of fusion starts at 2 seconds and it is going to be ends at the 6 seconds. That's why the difference you are going to be writing here. Now, when I want to change this equation, 6 minus 2 is equals to how much you are going to get? That is equals to, it will be 4 by 6.5 minus 2. It is nothing but 2.5. Otherwise, it can be written as 40 by 25. Okay, if you can divide with the 5th table, it will become 8 by 5. So the ratio is 8 by 5. This is the answer. So which option is correct here? 8 by 5 means the third option is correct. Okay, let's go for next one. Welcome back, students. So in the problem, the two rods are there, metal rods are going to be connected end to end. They are going to be connected like this. First rod is going to be given here. This is the metal bar we are taking. Equal area of cross sections is saying, and this is the two metal rods is there. And one end, how much is there? 0 degrees Celsius. Other end at 100 degrees Celsius. And this length is given 1 centimeters, and the second one is given 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters length is there. Here it will be 0 degrees Celsius and here it will be 100 degrees Celsius. And it is the K and it is 3K. For the second one, the coefficient of thermal conductivity is more. And this junction temperature is 5, and which you have to find out. And the problem is asking about the junction temperature is asking. Okay, they are asking the junction temperature. So let us find out that we know that the amount of heat energy transfer from one end to other end. What is the formula? Q is equals to K into theta 1 minus theta 2 into A into T by L. That implies you can written as Q by T is equals to K into theta 1 minus theta 2 into A by L. Here this is constant. Q by T is constant. The rate of flow will be taken as constant. If the rate of flow is taken as constant, then what happens? This term will be equals to constant. If the term will be equals to constant, that means the rate of flow passing through the first rod is equals to the rate of flow passing through the second rod. So you have to equate them. When you are going to equate them, at the junction temperature will be 5 you are taking. What is the temperature difference between the first rod? So the temperature difference between the first rod, because it is at 100 degrees Celsius, that's why the heat energy transfers towards the left side. So 100 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius it is traveling. So it will be 5 minus 0 and it will be 100 minus 5. So let us write down that K is equals to, for first rod it will be K into temperature difference. First rod, what you can write? 5 minus 0 into area of cross section, how much? A by L is equals to how much you can write? 1 you are going to be writing here itself. and that is equals to, for the second metal rod you are writing, for the second metal rod what is the K value will be 3K into temperature difference means 100 minus 5, okay, 100 minus 5, and area of cross section is constant by denominator how much length will be there, 2 we are going to be having. Let us cancel the equal terms here. A is going to be cancelled, K is going to be cancelled here. When it is going to be cancelled here, 2 is going to be multiplying at this place, then it will becomes 2 5 is equals to 3 into 100, it will become 300 minus, okay, 300 minus 3 5. 300 minus 3 5. The remaining terms are going to be cancelled here. Now minus 3 5 is coming to left side, it will becomes plus. So that means 2 5 plus 3 5 is equals to 300. 2 5 plus 3 5, how much will be 5 5. So that is equals to, it will be 5 5 is equals to 300. That implies 5 is equals to 300 by 5. So 300 by 5 means it will be cancelled, and how much you are going to get? 60 degrees Celsius. That means at the junction how much temperature will be there? 5 is equals to 60 degrees Celsius will be takes place. 5 is equals to 60 degrees Celsius. So these are the problems we need to remember. Okay, this is the problem. And remember that here the rate of flow is going to be constant. What is Q by T represents? Rate of flow will be represents. Rate of flow means how much amount of heat energy transferred in a particular time will be called as a rate of flow. And the formula is very, very important. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next class. Thank you.